Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Sage, Assistant City Attorney with the Human Relations Office. We're here today as part of our Compassionate Sioux Falls initiative. Compassionate Sioux Falls is an initiative designed to move our community from tolerance to acceptance. Each month we like to spotlight a business, organization, or individual that's making a difference in our community. Today I have the privilege of having Patty Brooks with us from Habitat for Humanity. Patty, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Those in our community that are not familiar with Habitat for Humanity, why don't you describe what your organization is and a brief history of where Habitat for Humanity came from?
Absolutely. We began here in Sioux Falls back in 1989. We were incorporated as a nonprofit organization, and we built our first house then in 1991. Habitat of Greater Sioux Falls, located here locally, is one of 11 affiliates across South Dakota and one of 1,300 affiliates in the nation. Habitat's mission is to bring people together to build homes, community, and hope. And we are a Christian-based ministry, so a lot of the work that we do is bold and transparent. We say that we're working under God's mission and God's light to do the work here in our community.
What services do you provide in order to build that home and build that community?
I think what people are most familiar with when we talk Habitat for Humanity is our new home construction. Right now we build about 10 new single family and twin homes in our community each year. I think people are most familiar with that because they've either heard about it, helped volunteer, donated to Habitat for that purpose, to help build new homes in our community for low-income families. And when I speak about low-income families, we do have some guidelines on the people that we're able to serve. And so individuals or families who qualify for our Habitat Home Partnership, they need to be between 30 and 60% of the area median income, which really is on the low to moderate low income side of things. Another program that we have that people maybe are not as familiar with, which is still very active and vibrant in our community, is our Neighborhood Revitalization Project. And that's where we work with existing homeowners within Sioux Falls and the Greater Sioux Falls area to revitalize, beautify, improve their existing home, whether it be an exterior painting, weatherization, whether it's replacement of doors and windows, fixing a front stoop or a patio or a deck, or even just brush or yard cleanup. We do those kind of programs under Neighborhood Revitalization.
I've also heard a little bit about the Habitat Restore. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that, I guess, service or, facility that you guys run and who that serves?
The facility itself has been operational for over 12 years now in the Sioux Falls community. We accept donated products from anyone in the community and we sell to anyone in the community. And I think that's one of the myths or questions out there that we get a lot is who can shop and who can donate to the Restore. So it's donation of mostly home goods, appliances. We do take donations now of some furniture, plumbing, lighting, kind of your do-it-yourself kind of project for home remodeling and home furnishing. And then we also work with a lot of contractors and businesses that make a lot of donations to Habitat. I think the thing to keep in mind about the Restore is pretty much twofold. We're green, so we're trying to keep items out of our local landfill. And every year, the Restore is accepting donated products that saves about 375 tons of products out of our local landfill. So we're recycling, repurposing, reusing, and reselling those to someone else in the community who can use those. But in the same way, the Restore is able to earn enough proceeds each year to help us build at least one Habitat new home each year in our community.
Now, do you say 375 tons locally?
Locally,
so
just
that makes
the Sioux Falls.
Big difference.
Huge difference.
Inside our community of Sioux Falls.
Absolutely. So we're saving the taxpayers money on the landfill costs. We're saving the city and county money. So it's green. It's repurposing products that would have been thrown away by someone that maybe tore out a cabinet set and was getting new cabinets or whatever they may be throwing away. We are actually able to repurpose that and resell it for people in the community.
You mentioned income guidelines on the home ownership program. Are there other restrictions on who you can serve, or what's the population that you can serve, and how do people go about receiving services with the ownership program?
Yeah. With homeowners specifically, those are the income guidelines, the 30 to 60% of the area median income. So that's really all that we can serve. Anybody can apply for home ownership into our program. Typically, we accept applications and have our orientation period in January and February of each calendar year, and that's open to anyone who wants to apply. The application process is completed, then they move into a credit check. We do check their debt to income ratio. We check their income and their pay stubs. There's even an interview, a home visit. The process itself takes about 8 or 9 months, and if the homeowner who applied for the program qualifies and scores the highest, if we're building 10 homes, for example, and is scoring in the top 10, then they would move into partnership with Habitat, and then we'd start construction on their home the following calendar year. So it's definitely not a short process. And people that come into partnership with Habitat, we explain to them it's about 12 to 18, almost 24 months of process that they're going to be working with us to get home ownership.
In order to, I guess, receive a home and to go into partnership, what is required of somebody in order to get the keys to that home?
Yeah, we look at three things when we enter into partnership. One is ability to pay, and I think that's another one of the myths out there. I hear it a lot that Habitat gives homes away. We do not. We sell the homes based on the appraised value to the new homeowners. The nice thing about Habitat, it's a 30-year mortgage with a note, but it's at 0% interest. So that there alone saves them hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars in interest payments. They do pay property taxes, they do pay their homeowner's insurance, so we set up an escrow account for them. So the financial piece of that is one piece that they need to meet. The willingness to partner, they need to actually come out and help build their home. If they're a single head of household, they are required to put in 200 hours to volunteer to build their home. And if they're a dual head of household, they're required to put in 400 hours to build their own home. And then the last criteria that we look at is need. And that's why we, in the partnership period when we're going through application, we actually go out and look and do a home visit. We want to see what is the need of this family and why do they need to move into a Habitat home. Is it overcrowding? Is it unsafe conditions? Do they have plumbing, heating, air conditioning issues, locks that are improper on their home, etc. So we actually look at all three of those factors when we look at partnership with anybody in our community.
The Neighborhood Revitalization Program, are there limits on who can apply for assistance with that portion of your mission, or what's their best way to receive that assistance and to seek the help?
Yeah, and we're actually looking for a lot of families right now. That's one program where we're accepting applications year-round. There's no one time of the year that we look at neighborhood revitalization. We do also serve that 30 to 60% of area median income. We also say that Habitat is a hand up and not a handout. So nothing we say or do is completely for free. So in the Neighborhood Revitalization Program, we will provide the volunteers. We will buy, let's say it's an exterior paint, we'll buy the product, we'll buy the paints and the brushes and whatever we need. And then we ask the homeowner, based on their income, on a sliding fee scale to contribute to the hard cost of the supplies and materials that we buy, or even come out and help paint that day if they're able to, along with our volunteer groups that come out in the community.
How many hours does it take to build a Habitat home?
And that varies depending on the volunteers that come out. If you're a contractor by trade and have a lot of experience building, it may take a lot less. If you're someone that's never picked up a hammer and just want to learn alongside of a friend or a coworker, come on out. But sometimes we say on average it takes about 1,500 hours to build a new single family or a twin home that Habitat builds right now.
So if I have never swung a hammer before in my life, is there a way that I can help?
Yes, absolutely. Habitat accepts every volunteer on the job site and in neighborhood revitalization. You could be a skilled construction worker by trade and want to come out and volunteer, or if you're someone that's never picked up a hammer, like you said, you're welcome on the job site. There are enough tasks and responsibilities to keep everybody busy, and we do like to say that every hand makes a difference in Habitat.
You mentioned that you could donate some hard goods to the Habitat Restore. We can donate time and talents. Is there any other way that somebody could assist Habitat for Humanity with not hard goods or not time and talents?
Absolutely, and one of my jobs as executive director is to secure sponsorships for each one of the homes that we build. We estimate that each Habitat home that we build costs about $120,000 just in materials. That doesn't include land. Land is separate from looking at that. So my job is to raise funds to help cover that $120,000, whether it's a business that wants to sponsor a home, whether it's an individual, whether it's a grant or a loan that I can secure, whatever dollars that I can put together. I look at Habitat twofold. We could have all the volunteers that we could possibly use out there, but if we don't have the construction materials, we're not going to build. And if we don't have the construction materials, nothing's going to go up. Vice versa, I could have all the money in the bank that I absolutely need to build these houses each year, but if I don't have the volunteer labor, the houses will not be built. So I look at them both very closely, that they are integrated, and we need both of them equally as much at Habitat.
If someone is looking for assistance or looking to help, what's the best way to get in contact with Habitat for Humanity?
Definitely go out to our website. I think most of our information, even how to apply to be a family, neighborhood revitalization, what donations we accept at the Restore, all that information should be out there. And that's at Sioux Falls Habitat, all one word, .org. That's our website. And also, if they want to give us a call, call 332-5962. That's our main directory, which can get you to any of the administrative staff, myself, the volunteer coordinator, construction manager, whomever, and would also get you to the Restore staff if you had questions about a donation or if we pick up donations in the community, that kind of thing.
Patty, thank you very much for the work that you do and the difference that you make in our community.
Thank you.
If you're interested in learning more about Compassionate Sioux Falls, please feel free to visit us online at siouxfalls.org/compassion or by phone at 605-367-8745 or use #CompassionateSF.